Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I've got some more Warframe gameplay. I really am enjoying this game. Just the art style again just keeps evolving and offering all this new stuff. You might notice there's a new little companion guy that's following me around. This hovering little, I guess you could call him sort of a space slug or something. He follows me around and provides me with a few little benefits. He'll even attack bad guys if I upgrade him with the right tools. Now in the last Warframe video I showed you the Excalibur Warframe, and I also showed you Ember Warframe. So Excalibur is kind of the starting Warframe that everybody has, and he's kind of well-rounded, has a few cool abilities that you can pick from, and then Ember is sort of focused on fire stuff. The Warframe that I'm playing right now is called Ash, and I'm mostly playing this guy because I thought he looked really cool, but he has some neat abilities. He has stealthy abilities. He can use sort of smoke clouds and stuff to distract enemies, but the ability that I'm using most is this little spear, where I can basically toss a little spear and it looks like a little silvery bullet, if you will. You'll see him throw them out here and there, and they can one-shot a lot of bad guys, so he's kind of cool. He has some really cool little offensive abilities, and all the Warframes again come with 4 different abilities that you can pick from. You can choose if you want to use them all, or if you just want to use a few of them, and trade out your Warframe points for other abilities. There's generic abilities that all Warframes can equip, like improving your health, stamina, armor resistance, and those sort of things, but you can never cross over with the special abilities that each Warframe gets, and that's what sets them apart and makes them unique. You can also equip different helmets on your Warframe that sort of tweak the abilities of your Warframe. For example, if I swap out my helmet on this Warframe, it'll give me much better stamina, but I won't be as efficient when I use some of my Warframe special abilities, so he'll consume more power whenever I throw out, say, a spear to take down an enemy. So you get all these different ways to really customize and tweak your playing style. If you want to go mostly melee, you can really rank up your melee weapon and equip abilities that are going to help you out in melee combat. If you want to play mostly ranged, you can rank up your ranged weapons, and then again equip abilities that are going to help you in range combat, like having really high shields would be great for range combat, so you can engage in a firefight, duck out for a second to let your shields recharge, and then come back in. Now you'll notice that there's cool little points that pop up when I hit guys, the basically damage indicators telling me exactly how much damage I'm doing. And what's awesome is that if you hit the vulnerable spots on your enemies, you will see an increased damage output. So headshots will end up dealing a lot more damage per shot, and it's just kind of neat to actually see that register in game all the time. Now a lot of this stuff is very fast paced right now, but when you're playing at range combat, it really does pay to aim for the head just to down your enemies a lot faster. And those little leg guys with guns on top of them just crack me up. I think they're awesome enemies to fight against, and they're actually pretty powerful as well. Each Warframe has a total of 3 different weapons that you can equip at one time. You have your melee weapon. As you can see, I've got a pretty cool sword on my back right now, which I've upgraded with a bunch of different abilities to help cut through armor and swing faster and stuff like that. Then you have your sidearms, which are any sort of pistols, and those get a little bit weird too. Right now I've got dual pistols right now that are sort of slower firing, but they deal a lot of damage. They're not very good for range, but they're a lot of fun to switch to. They can actually dish out a huge amount of damage. They don't have as much ammo in a magazine as, say, my primary weapon, however. So the primary weapon is basically the standard weapon that I've started with, and I have tried out a few other weapons out there. They're slower firing, sort of I would say like battle rifle style weapons that hit harder, fire slower, and this one is sort of a faster firing weapon. It's a good balance, and I've ranked it up so much that I have a lot of extra ammo for it, faster reload times, slightly more damage. So the longer you use every weapon, the better it becomes, and since I started using it with my very first Excalibur Warframe, it maintains all those levels that I get from playing with the Excalibur Warframe. So even though I started out the Ash Warframe at like level 1, I was able to transfer over a level 12 rifle for him to use. So he didn't start off as like sort of a crummy level 1 Warframe with no abilities. He actually had some pretty good weapons that I was able to transfer over. Now because a lot of this game is focused on player versus enemy, or fighting NPC characters rather, their team play is a big emphasis on this. So as you can see, I'm running around with a lot of players here. and they're backing me up, and you can have abilities that contribute to each other. You can help out your teammates, you can revive them, that sort of thing. But this game has actually taken it to another step with their latest game update, which adds dojos. And like I said before, this game sort of has a ninja theme to it, if you will, sort of a samurai theme. And they're taking that a little bit further with the dojo concept, where if you're in a clan, you can actually build a dojo for your entire clan if you have enough resources to do so. Now you might be thinking, why the heck would you want a dojo? Isn't this game all about just like going out and fighting guys as opposed to hanging out in some sort of virtual room? And the point of a dojo is that if you do organize and play with other players, you will get rewarded for it. Some of the things that you can actually do in a clan-built dojo are building custom weapons that can only be built in research labs in your dojo. So if you're walking around in game and somebody joins your game and they have like the coolest freaking weapon you've ever seen, and you're wondering how they got it, chances are it was built in a dojo research laboratory. Now, you don't have to be in a dojo to build all the weapons in the game, but there are going to be exclusive weapons that you can only build if you're in a clan that has a high enough ranking that can build a dojo and create a research lab. What I really like about this is it adds a lot of depth to potentially the end game. You know, a lot of people like to play these games for many hours, rank up, get to the highest level, get tons of cool items, and dojos just adds that extra layer of depth to something that you can't just rely on yourself, but you're gonna need to rely on your teammates to help upgrade and get new gear and stuff like that. You can also do stuff like dueling in dojos and help you practice dueling against your clan members or duel against enemies, and just get better at dueling. Since dueling is becoming a bigger part of this game, you can compete against other players. Now, I'm not really high enough rank yet to feel confident in my dueling abilities, though I am looking forward to it. Now, this specific mission that I'm playing right here is a defend the point mission. There's sort of a cryostasis tube with an unconscious Warframe in it, and our mission here is to protect this cryostasis tube while basically endless hordes of enemies attack it. So waves of enemies come, and you get a little while to regroup after each wave and sort of go around and collect more ammo and get some health if you need it and that sort of thing. But it does get very hard, and you absolutely need teamwork to hold off the baddies. Now the cool thing is that after a certain number of waves, like 3 waves or so, it will give everybody the option to stick around to fight more waves or to leave the match. And what's neat is that after every 3 waves, you get a prize that you can claim by leaving at that point, or you can wait till later to try and get a higher level prize. So if you fight through many waves, you can potentially get some really good gear. Now, I mentioned in my previous Warframe video that sort of the acrobatics, moving around, jumping off of objects, was pretty difficult to do, and most of that was because I didn't understand the system. It does take a little while to learn, and I see a lot of newbie players when I'm playing on the first levels of the game not understanding the jumping around aspect, but once you play for a while, all of a sudden things become clear. You have to like hold the jump button for a certain period of time to perform certain actions, and then release at other times to perform other actions. It wasn't that clear at the start, like how to do this, so you know, a tutorial system or something like that might actually help the newer players figure out the acrobatics, because they are pretty important for getting around. As you can see, standing on top of that pillar there really did give me a very good bird's eye view of this map, and I was able to defend it much better, but a novice player might not understand how to get up there. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I'm pretty fond of the free-to-play game models. I think it really does force developers to be very competitive and very creative with their games, and I think Warframe is an excellent example of one of the best free-to-play games that's out right now. And it just does a great job of making sure that it's not a pay-to-win game, but if you want to spend money in the game, you can actually upgrade your character and make them look a lot cooler, or at least speed up the process in which it takes to rank up and get other things. Anyway, if you're interested in playing the game, check the video description for a link to the Warframe website. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.